Welcome, one and all, to Violent Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, AA Ambrose Sally, with my other cohort of pain, the Mox. We have two wonderful guests for us today. We have Metal Matt and we have William Fitzpatrick. Welcome, everyone.
What's up? I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, folks, I did say back on the Shooting the Breeze Golden Bullet Awards I was taking a sabbatical for a month. A month's passed. Sabbatical's over, kids. Fizzy's back in doing podcasting again. Thanks so much for having me on this wonderful edition of the show. And let's see here. So we're good. Just basically, this is going to be a medley show today. And Mox and AA here are doing, I think it is, we're doing Takeover. As well as Bits the Rumble.
And let's get us a going. Okay, here we go with Takeover. Something that I only watch one match of, which is the match of the century, the decade, the millennium, the one, the only, Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, baby.
Mr. Average himself.
You know, he actually replaced Dean Ambrose as the average wrestler in the dictionary at this point. He is basically the walking fusion of Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Triple H's trunks and moveset, and has been unleashed on the island of Donter Moreau and has caused all the inhabitants to scream in terror and flee the island. So, are we going to be doing... I mean, you watched only Aleister Black versus Adam Cole on Takeover. I watched all 5 matches. Mox, you watched the entire show?
Yes, I caught it the next day, but I watched it all. Great card that never seems to... I don't think there's a takeover that's ever... And I thought it'd be so much more. It always exceeds expectations for me.
Matt, did you watch the show?
Yeah, I watched the entire show. It was a pretty good show, I'd say.
So,
what did you think of my match of the decade, the millennium, the century?
My favorite match on the show. I know that's spoiling something. And I know that a certain group of the NXT cult is going to be going for my blood because I didn't rate Almas versus Gargano very highly, but that was my favorite match because here's the thing. Aleister Black has to pull a modern miracle in getting a good match out of Adam Cole, baby. And he succeeded in doing so.
Mr. Average.
Yes, Mr. Average. Mr. Average, who managed to somehow accidentally cut himself pulling a table out from under the ring with his thumb guard. I guess that should be the first thing that we should talk about in that instance because that they all handled it incredibly professionally because we know how WWE is about the blood policy, and understandably so because of all of the issues with bloodborne pathogens and whatnot. Yes, I know I'm talking about bloodborne pathogens on a Violent Wrestling podcast, but still... Anyway, the way that the spot was is that Cole was setting up a table. He's full of adrenaline as he's pulling this table out. He's got a thumb guard on his left thumb. And as he's pulling it out, he's yanking on it. He catches his hand on the edge of the stabilizer for the table. Now, those things, if anyone has ever set up a table at a dinner party before, unless they're metal usually, because that's what they're used to support tables, not plastic, because plastic breaks very easily after a few years. They're sharp. And if you get your hand caught on them, it's really sharp. So he's doing this, the adrenaline rush is flowing in, he gets back into the ring, and the first thing that they noticed in this spot was the ref looks over at the rope and sees blood is dripping on the rope. He starts to have something of a panic attack. They do the spot where Adam Cole flips off the edge of the ring, and then Aleister Black notices, and he goes, looks down at his chest and sees that there's blood on it. That wasn't his. So Alistair, in a wonderful bit of improvisation, goes, "Gotta do this today. I got a 4-star match at a Velveteen Dream last show. Now I have to do this today." Goes out to the outside of the ring, grabs the second table that Cole was originally supposed to grab. Then the referee tends to Adam Cole's hand. Match continues. So AA
True professionalism.
See,
yeah.
I noticed blood, but I couldn't tell the spot where it came from because like it started with a drip or, and then all of a sudden when it really became noticeable was when he went backwards through the trash can, and then like, God damn, this dude just lost it. By the way, this is not PG because I thought like because you could see the bone and like, damn, he's gonna lose a thumb. And then they came and they did it so well where I don't know, Alistair referees with camera angles, we could tell them coming to attend to him. And there's no cuts, it's live. And next thing you know, he has the black tape around his thumb and hand. And trooper for him for continuing that.
Well, he already had the thumb guard on when he started the match. So basically what had happened was that he wasn't being able to get a grip on his one hand, and they had set 4 tables under the ring. 2 in case that the table spot didn't work out, and 2 that were the tables that were going to break. So what happened was he couldn't get a grip on the one side because he was dealing with issues with his thumb. And you know how important it is getting a good grip on something and pulling it out of a tight space, And that's what happened in that instance, but they were very professional about it. And so, AA, as you two are the hardcore experts here, how would you, on a scale from 1 to 10, rate this hardcore match? I mean, considering that you were putting it on a curveball because it's a WWE style match, not a traditional independent wrestling hardcore match.
I would put it up there with about an 8.5.
Ladies first.
Considering it's WWE standards and everything. Now, if you went with the independents, I'd say it's about a 4.5 to a 5.
Yeah,
because there wasn't enough
He said
color.
1 out of 10.
So it would be a 4 out of 10.
I'd give it.
That's what I would say too.
I give it a 2.
Okay,
Oh, you
so
said 4-2 as in also.
Well,
I think it's what
I
Matt
thought
meant.
Matt said.
Yeah,
Oh.
Matt said 4, you said 2, and AA said 4 on the independent scale, not the WWE scale.
WWE scale would be 8.5.
Yeah, because we have to put a bit of a handicap on this because it is a WWE sanctioned style hardcore match.
Yeah, and as it went, it was pretty good. I would say it was Adam Cole's best NXT match to date.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there.
Because Adam Cole has
I'm not a big.
he has a reputation for being Mr. Average, and I always felt like this was the match that this is an opportunity because Adam Cole is Mr. Average, but I've always felt that I think Adam Cole has so much potential. He can break out of that. He just needs a showcase match to do it. And I think this was it. Now, obviously, Aleister Black is one of the best in the business at the moment, but I think Adam Cole held his own in this match. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that for every match or every big match, but I think for this particular match, I think he did pretty well. And I think both of them really worked well together. They did a really good hardcore match, which is something that's pretty rare in WWE because we don't really get to see much of that. We certainly don't get to see blood, even though it was accidental here, but still. Overall, it was a pretty good hardcore match, I would say.
I would agree with you there. I mean, I'm
Towards the. Sorry.
continue, Mox.
towards I don't know, maybe 5 minutes in, Black had already had blood on his thigh, but he wasn't cut. Was the thumb already bleeding then?
I don't think it was the thumb. I think it was actually the hand itself. Because what he had was the thumb guard and he had a hand guard on it, connected to it, because it's one of those athletic guard things. What had happened was that the hand had been cut, because a thumb cut is okay to have. You know, that actually cauterizes relatively easily. A cut on the middle of your hand, though, because there's not a lot, because I've been cut in the hand before, you know, picking stuff up, accidentally burning my hand on a piece of toast once, but, you know, that takes a much longer. It takes about 5 to 15 minutes for it to scab up and cauterize, but they were able to get some spray on it very quickly and able to get some stuff put on to the top of it to stop the bleeding. And then they were able to continue. Obviously, they had to jingle around some of their spots a little bit, but, you know, Adam Cole doing that smashing dive on the chair. How did you feel about that one, Mox? The one where he puts the two chairs together in the middle of the ring, and then Adam Cole, and then Black reverses it, and then Cole gets hit in the back.
My back still hurts just from watching it. Good God.
I loved it. It was glorious.
Oh, man, especially for me, because, like, Adam Cole is the definition of every kind of wrestler that I don't like. Long hair, generic-looking wrestler who's just like, he's there. He's the perfect Triple H wrestler in the Kingdom of Isengard. Yes, Isengard. That's what I refer to NXT as. It is the sub-kingdom to the legendary land of Mordor.
Just for the record, I don't get the whole. Outside of before they came to NXT, like Fish and O'Reilly and even Cole, like they did their thing, but I just don't. The Undisputed Era thing, like it's not for me.
It's the classic Triple H stable, and he's running NXT. So we're going to get the classic Triple H style stable of the guy that can't really hold his own in the main event scene and the two lackeys who are stuck in the tag division.
In this scenario, it's Triple H, the one guy that can't get it done.
The guy in the middle that can get it done. And the ancient old man known as Bobby Fish.
Can we please not wear those trunks anymore with a damn fish skeleton? Like, we get it. Your last name's Fish.
I mean, he's basically playing... he reminds me of Snidely Whiplash from... what was that series called? Dudley Do-Right?
Yeah, Dudley Do-Right with the mustache and all that.
Dudley Do-Right of the Highway Patrol. Okay, that's going back to a Ray Stevens song, but oh well.
Ray Stevens, no issue there. Love me some Ray Stevens.
See, I remember the Jay Ward cartoon series that they did called Dudley Do-Right. And I watch old cartoons from like the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, modern day cartoons as well. I'm a fan of the art form.
Yeah, same here. But yeah,
So,
I go ahead.
Continue.
Oh, I love the chair spot. Not only because it was a really cool spot, because it was a callback to what Adam Cole did to Aleister Black a few weeks prior. You know, when he did that, I guess AA to Aleister Black on the chair, and then now it's just a callback. Adam Cole gets a taste of his own medicine. So from a story standpoint, I thought that was a really nice touch. And I love that he sold the injury the next night in the Royal Rumble. I thought that was great.
So yeah, I mean, and like the thing is that what we've noticed about Adam Cole is like he is basically Baron Corbin's gimmick of Wile E. Coyote, super genius, done to 11 at this point because he kept using hardcore weapons in the storyline to try and attack Aleister Black to deny him his opportunity for the NXT Championship. And then William Regal shows up and says, "All right, Sunshine, you get to be in an ODQ hardcore match with weapons with the guy who worships Satan. Good luck."
Oh my God, you do a great Nigel. Oh my God.
I was actually going for Regal,
Wow.
but apparently I must have impersonated
Well-
Nigel McGuinness.
Yes. I knew you were going for Regal, but gee, you just straight nail on the head of Nigel.
Fun fact
Wow.
about me, folks, is that my parents watch PBS. And they get the PBS
Okay, so
station in
stop
my
now.
area. The PBS station in my area gets all the BBC British televised serial dramas. So I know how to do a British accent.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
I was raised
I
on
haven't
PBS.
I haven't watched PBS since Arthur, you know. So back when that was still a thing. And it might still be a thing.
Oh, it's still a thing.
Oh my god. That show's still going on.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, I still have to watch Arthur every day at 6:30 when I wake my son up, and Arthur's on. Oh, it's better than what comes on at 7. Caillou, I can't.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
Caillou
Ginger?
comes across to me as a. Go ahead.
Yeah, that used to be me. I used to wake up before school, watch Arthur, watch the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, you know, stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah, that 80s series of The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is a really great series.
oh, yeah, I love that series.
Yeah, it's just so cool. It's well animated.
I
It's
can
well.
deal with Winnie the Pooh.
Do you get Word Girl at your PBS station?
I do.
I don't know.
That's actually a series that was done by the late Soup to Nuts Animation Studio, which is responsible for all those Swiggle Vision animated shows in the 1990s.
Word girl.
Yes, that same studio.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough having a child sometimes. The crap he makes me. Word girl is not so bad, but the crap I have to watch. He loves his super wide. Getting back to Takeover, what other matches? I know Lozano's Amos is on everybody's lips. I gave it a 4.75 because there's a little lull.
Yeah, I thought that match was really good. A 4 on the indies as far as hardcore matches go. I would say maybe 6.57 on the WWE scale. But overall, the match itself as a whole, I would probably give it. I'd go ahead and give it 4 stars. I thought it was a really good match. Adam Cole's best NXT match to date. Aleister Black just continues to be possibly the best NXT superstar in there. It's either him or Johnny Gargano. Like both of those guys are awesome.
Yeah, I asked
Aleister Black all the way.
Amos.
Continue, AA.
It's Aleister Black all the way. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Aleister Black has managed to perform the modern miracle of being one of the few NXT stars that I actually really like. He managed to perform the miracle of miracles, getting a 4-star match out of Velveteen Dream, and he managed to get a good match out of basically what was a broomstick in the form of Adam Cole, baby. And he's going on into the main event program.
Average.
Yep, Mr. Average. So, what match are we covering next? Are we covering the opening match?
I think that would be the next match on the way. We'll go to the opening match.
So
Yeah,
Of
the
which I
opening
have
match.
no idea what it was.
It was Arthur's.
I just had
It was Arthur's.
Almas and Gargano. Or that.
Yeah, the opening match was Arthur's of Pain versus the Undisputed Era for the tag team championships. And the match was fine. You know, it was what it was. It was a pretty solid match. It wasn't. I didn't think it was a great match. But for what it was solid. I mean, I don't know. Like the thing with the Artists of Pain, it seems like they don't really know what to do with them in a way. It does seem like they're just kind of killing time. It does feel like they want Artists of Pain to be like one of the NXT call-ups that they call up either the night after WrestleMania or the SmackDown after WrestleMania. But they don't want to call them up just yet. So it just feels like they're just killing time until WrestleMania. And I don't know, it's so weird because the Artists of Pain, like, there's really nothing left for them to do in NXT. They've won the Dusty Rhodes Classic a couple years back. They've already been the tag team champions for a while. There's really nothing left for them to do in NXT. So I don't know. They're just in a weird holding pattern right now. But I think as far as the match itself goes, it was perfectly fine. There was really nothing wrong with it. But yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say because they're not like from a lot of people. I really like Others of Pain. Yeah, they started off rough and they're still green, but what they could do with them, it's all right there.
Yeah, I think Authors of Pain are great. You know, I mean, I don't know if they really had that much like indie experience or not. I don't think they did, but I don't know if they're like homegrown or what. But I mean, I think they were pretty good. You know, they've only been around in NXT for like a year or so, but they are already pretty good. But the question is, do you three think that Paul Ellering will follow them to the main roster, or are Authors of Pain going by themselves?
I think they'll be going by themselves.
That's a good question.
Hello?
I could see that done right. I could see them just, you know, obliterating the tag division. Done right. But I also thought the same about Ascension, and we know where that went.
And now they're Breezango's sidekicks.
Hey, but it makes for good TV.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a weird thing because on one hand, I think Paul Ellering, like he adds like a lot to Authors of Pain because he is Paul Ellering. You know, he was around for so many years with the Road Warriors and all of that. So he does give Authors of Pain this credibility because they have someone like Paul Ellering, you know, absolute legend in the business, you know, managed one of the most successful, most famous tag teams of all time. But at the same time, you know, Paul Ellering he's getting up there, you know, he's getting up there in age, and you have to wonder if Paul Ellering even wants to work that schedule, you know, and it's certainly possible that they could give him like a limited schedule, like maybe like just TV or something, but I don't think that's going to happen. So that's the $1 million question. Will Paul Ellering be with Authors of Pain when they go up? And it's up in the air. Could be yes, could be no. Who knows?
He's not working house shows or anything, but I could see him like wherever they went, you know, Monday or Tuesday. I could see him being their mouthpiece. But he's already, forgive me for not having sources or anything. It wasn't his. How do I put this? not something he wanted to do. He doesn't want to be on the road where he's in Orlando or Atlanta or whatever. You know, he's there and then he can go do his thing.
Yeah, they're usually in Orlando for Full Sail. You know, sometimes they'll branch out. Like recently, they've been doing some shows in Atlanta, which is WCW's home base.
Yeah.
But you know, other than that, they are mainly in Orlando. So and they only tape like every few months or so. So it's a pretty easy schedule. At the moment, I'm not sure if he would want to do the WWE schedule at his age.
We lost Fizz. Oh, and he's back. Yeah, they just taped I'm not sure if it goes all the way to WrestleMania week, but they just taped yesterday and tonight the NXT shows. We might not be BGE, but
Had to get out of the hangout there for a second, folks. There was some kind of weird sort of slowdown that I was having over on my side of things. It was looked like some kind of issue where Metal and Mox were talking at the same time, and it just caused a jump in the bandwidth. So I jumped out of the hangout. The classic trick is jump out of the hangout, then jump back into it with the link. So we're talking about AOP versus the MMA arrogant guys, Fish and O'Reilly.
Yep.
It's like here's the thing. They went with the tag team division. They're like, okay, we have the Revival, these roughneck hillbillies who are actually surprisingly intellectual, who, break people's legs. Let's replace them with basically their stand-ins, except they're MMA hipsters instead of hillbillies. Because that's what Fish and O'Reilly are in the NXT tag division. They are the undisputed era of what? I'm not really sure. They never really gave that in the manual. All they say is that they are going to shock the system. Shock the system. Anyway, then we have to deal, they had a rematch against Paul Ellering's lovable murder monsters. One of my favorite tag teams. Right? Yeah. Yeah, the Offers of Pain, or as I like to call them, the murder monsters. Basically, he came into the ring and the Offers of Pain they took it to him. They had a really solid opening match. Honestly, I feel that the wrong team won, but then again, I am a big fan of the Offers of Pain and not so much a fan of the Undisputed Era. Because Bobby Fish and probably is the best member of this team, but O'Reilly I'm starting to warm up to Kyle O'Reilly a little bit, but it's going to take a while. So, AA, did you get your thoughts on this match? What was that, Mox?
I was a fan of Red Dragon, but I don't know how to put it in words that they're just not doing it for me in NXT.
Probably because they're stuck in NXT, where that's sort of the hipster MMA martial artist guys are going to get face cheers and from the college crowd of Full Sail, whereas on the main roster, maybe you get a little bit more booze. But it all depends on where you are and which city you're going to be in that particular week. It's just there's so many variables. So basically, you don't like what they're doing in NXT right now. Well, what do you think they need to change in order to make it better for you?
I'm not sure. AA, what you watch TakeOver?
Well,
Spoiler alert.
It's really hard. It's really hard to say because I don't follow them as much as I do Alistair. But
well, that's a great perspective of somebody just catching a match and not.
I don't find anything really interesting about them. They don't grab me.
Okay.
And I don't know how they would do on the main roster.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be. I'm gonna go on a limb and say they wouldn't stand a chance.
I think they'd be okay, but it all depends on if Kyle O'Reilly's back holds up, and that's, the fountain of youth that Bobby Fish has been using. It continues to be the fountain of youth for him.
Yeah, I think they do okay on the main roster. Because the Lord knows the main roster needs some more tag teams.
Because every one of them has apparently wrestled on some ancient Indian burial grounds and has gotten themselves cursed with horrible, debilitating injuries.
Good.
I never thought
Lord,
of it
has
like
it been
that.
bad.
Seth Rollins.
Let's get to Gargano and Almas.
Okay, you want to cover the main event next? Cool.
Oh boy!
I was covering that before you came in with the first match.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because we didn't really hear you.
Oh, see, always my fault.
Oh,
Blame
no
Mox.
worries,
That's fine.
It's cool.
It's okay, man. So, what were your thoughts on Gargano Almas?
Anyone? Bueller? Bueller?
Yep.
I give it 4.75. I watched it the day after, so I already knew what happened. And even knowing the outcome, it didn't sway me that much on, damn, that is pro wrestling. Matt?
Yeah, I thought this match was fantastic. Gargano, one of the best wrestlers on the planet today. I just think he's great. He's like that really likable baby face. I can't really think of anybody like him. I'm sure I probably could if I really thought about it, but just off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone that's been such a likable ultra baby face. Even someone like Hulk Hogan has heelish moments. Helping Ric Flair win the Royal Rumble back in '92. But Gargano is
Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's the last one I can say and just truly baby face is Daniel.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I think he was talking about Daniel Bryan.
I'll be honest, I never really bought Daniel Bryan as a babyface, and I don't know why. I don't know. There's always been I don't know. He always kind of comes across as, I don't know. He just kind of comes across unlikable at times to me. I don't know. For whatever reason, I just never get that ultra babyface from him. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I'll say it for you. He's a prick. But there was a time in the storyline where it went with underdog, just overcoming everything, and that's the closest I can relate, in recent years of what they're doing with Gargano.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan, I know exactly what you're saying, and
I mean, if I had a camera, I'd be raising my hand right now and agreeing with Mel and Matt, because I never really viewed Daniel Bryan as much of a babyface. He's always to me, it was always the deranged lawn gnome, the guy who's gonna rip your arm off just to get a championship belt. The thing that people forget about Daniel is that he's one of the best submission wrestlers of the 2000s. And he just had this ability to be the most obnoxious, destructive heel in the world. His babyface run was decent, but I love this heel run more.
Yeah, I thought his heel run was great with AJ and saying no, and his run with Kane. I thought all that stuff was great. But was never really able to buy him as a babyface. I just thought he was kind of bland as a babyface, but I thought him as a heel was great.
I'll say again, he's always been a prick.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how he babyface heel, even in like when we had Talking Smack. Please bring Talking Smack back. He just comes across as this arrogant. Like I don't know how else to describe it. He's just
arrogant hipster. Arrogant hipster. The kind of guy that goes to Starbucks and orders an $8 goes to Starbucks and orders an $8 coffee and claims to himself, "I'm saving the environment. This is an eco cup."
Yeah, that is the best word to describe it. You know, I was just never able. I would always got that vibe from Brian, regardless of what alignment he was. I was just never able to buy him as a face. But yeah, anyway, as
this quickly turned from, hey, let's talk about the main event of Takeover to with Daniel Bryan.
But yeah, anyway, with Gargano, you know, he's just such a great babyface, and he's had such an incredible story. And there were definitely times where I was like, "What are they doing with him?" You know, because they were always having him lose. But you know, looking at the bigger picture, it just makes a lot of sense. And while I think, I don't know, I didn't really have much of a problem with him losing here because it does make sense. But yeah, I think he's had an incredible story. I think the build to this match was particularly great for Gargano, you know, and he cut one of his best promos, you know, like the week beforehand or like a couple weeks before. It was like, you know, everybody doubts me. Even Regal doubts me. You know, I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to win the title. You know, I just thought he was a great, you know, babyface. And the way that he added that edge, you know, like nobody believes in me. I just thought that was a great, you know, little wrinkle to the story. And, you know, Zelina Vega just stirring the pot every week, you know, just trying to convince Regal to try and get him out of the match or just trying to screw with Johnny. I just thought that was great stuff on Zelina's side. I think she's been a great manager. Like, she is just refreshed Almas without a doubt. The match was fantastic. It was a great match. Go on.
Oh, Vega, I mean, she has propelled almost to world, basically world. Like she has been a part of the story and almost, and I mean, it's been. He's one of those guys I know. And
I mean, she really added a lot to Almas.
Take away. She just brings her down and punch in the face.
Yeah, she's added a lot to his act because almost for like the longest time was like, you know, like, you know, I don't know about this guy. Like, he was just kind of floundering there, and it was to the point where Alberto Del Rio claimed that he was unhappy there, which I doubt, you know, because Alberto Del Rio, I don't believe anything he says, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, anyway, he was just floundering for like the longest time. And, you know, I think when they started doing this whole, you know, he loses because he parties too much, and then they had Zelina Vega get him back on the right track. And, you know, you could argue that Zelina Vega is the reason why he's champion. So even on Alma's side, it's a great story for him because, you know, he was losing so much because he was partying, but now that he has focus in the form of Zelina Vega, he's been winning a lot, and now he's champion. So I think it's a great story on his side as well.
I thought it was a great on Takeover. I thought it was a great callback when he came out in the. Not really sure if you call it the Sombra mask, but he came out masked. That was, I'm marked out.
He brought a mariachi band. You can't bring a mariachi band to the temple because Katrina hates mariachi bands and sacrificed them to create Mil Murtiez's Throne of Doom. But you can bring him on TakeOver. There's no chance that a mariachi band's going to get sacrificed on a TakeOver.
What's the next TakeOver? They'll prove me wrong.
Just thank God CM Punk wasn't in disguise as one of them.
Oh, right, yeah, because he played a mariachi performer and then bashed Chavo Guerrero Jr. over the head with a guitar.
Yeah, I was hoping someone would remember that. Like, remember
Great callback.
I remember when Chavo Guerrero was ECW champion. Oh man!
Why must you torture us like this?
So,
are we gonna talk about the Royal Rumble at all?
Well, looks like we're just down to 3 matches at this point for TakeOver. Well, let's cover Gargano Almas. Not as high on Gargano Almas as some of the others are. I find it was a good match. The opening sprint was fantastic, but once it started slowing down a little bit, it was like it really became very difficult to watch the match. Then they were also trying to go with the whole Gargano's got too much heart. Gargano's got too much heart. He should stop. I'm like, are you trying to run a subtle concussion angle on the main event of a TakeOver card, guys? Because they did that on the Royal Rumble with Jason Jordan, but I saw that they did the same angle with Gargano. I'm like, because Mauro is trying very hard not to mention the words head and neck on commentary, which I had to listen to because the English commentary is the only option that you have for TakeOver cards.
That's why I didn't give it a 5. That's why I said that lull. Where it's still a great match. And 4.75, but there was too much right there in mid-match. Like, just what the, like, it was too, I don't want to say obvious, but I couldn't give it a 5.
Yeah,
not like my stars mean shit, but.
I don't necessarily care about star ratings to me personally, but I enjoyed the match personally. But what I enjoyed about it was the ending sequence. Gargano couldn't get it done again, lost to Almas via his finisher, and then as they're doing the celebratory ramp up the stage, the NXT ending logo flashes, and look who's there but our friendly neighborhood Sicilian psychopath Tommaso Ciampa smacking Gargano in the back with a clutch.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who may not necessarily be aware of Wacky World of Wrestling, I am one of the biggest supporters and fans of Tommaso Ciampa in his ongoing quest to destroy Johnny Gargano.
I love Ciampa. I absolutely love him. And if you notice, they did the logo twice, where it was supposed to end, and then Ciampa attacked Gargano, and then they did the copyright thing a second time. Like, oh, okay, this is over. Candice is here. She's walking him back. When they're walking stage, they did the logo, and then it didn't end, and Ciampa did great Ciampa things, and then they gave us the second trademark logo thing.
Yeah, as Ciampa's walking to the back, and Candice is literally staggering daggers into his back. Did any?
For this.
Yeah, we've all been waiting for this. We've all been waiting for Ciampa Gargano. Just Ciampa's been hurt.
I'll just say this: if the main event of NXT TakeOver New Orleans isn't Johnny Gargano versus the NXT TakeOver copyright logo, I will be upset.
But one weird thing I did. Yeah.
Are you going to WrestleMania weekend?
Nah.
Matt?
Nah, I'm not going to New Orleans. Not this time anyway.
I'm thinking about it.
I mean, I've been to New Orleans before. It's a great city, but not going this year.
Well, shit, you live. Both of us live like right by there. Only thing is ticket prices.
It's several hours away. I went to Jazz Fest several years ago to go see the late great Tom Petty, and that trip took several hours, but it was worth it.
Well, WrestleMania is
Tom Petty's
definitely
always
worth
worth
going
it.
to.
Hey, you're going, right?
I'm not going this year.
Oh no. Oh man.
I can't afford it this year.
That's the kind of the same boat I'm in. And it's right here. I don't have to fly to New York or anything like that. I can drive. Dallas was so easy. Not only is it right there, but that's where Mom lives, so I don't have to rent motels or anything like that. Like, here we are.
I don't go on long trips, so Mania is not out. Is so out of the question for me.
Whereabouts? You don't have to give particular. Anything,
I live in the southern tier of Western New York, so it's pretty far away from me.
Hey, there's always next year.
Mm-hmm. If a wrestling show is not within like 60 miles of my house, I'm not really interested in going to it.
But yeah, that's right. They did. There are rumors that WrestleMania is going to take place in like New Jersey / New York next year, like WrestleMania 29 was. I've heard that rumor.
I thought
that was confirmed.
That
actually,
was confirmed.
Oh, confirmed.
Yeah,
nice.
Confirmed.
Nice.
I might be going to that one.
What the? It better be a great card. Can't come down here to hang with us, but you're gonna. I'm not going to New York. You can hang that up.
That's what I'm saving my money for. Is for the one in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get it. Dean may or may not be at this Mania. He might be at the next one. Okay, now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's got to do with money.
I know. Just giving you a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Dean would just be icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
So, Royal Rumble. Thoughts?
Here we go to the Royal Rumble, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody at once. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And the Royal Rumble, it was actually a pretty good show this year. I was actually kind of surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they kicked it off with the championship.
Mm-hmm.
WWE title match.
Yeah.
I thought it was a solid match.
It was a nice and questionable match.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mark a lot. I don't get worked a lot, but good Lord, that was like watching football or something. Like, how did you miss that? They didn't tag.
Yeah, I mean the match it was fine. It was what it was. It was a decent opener for the pay-per-view, and even though I don't like the storyline that they're doing with Bryan and Shane and all that stuff, it was still a pretty decent match. And by the way, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I will have you know that you are not the first co-champions or the first aspiring co-champions. That title belongs to the iconic duo. Thank you very much.
I know someone who's happy you said that.
What kind of door are you talking about? Because there's Lake Cole door.
Yeah, they were co-champions for a bit. But Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were saying that they wanted to be the first co-champions. Stop stealing the iconic duo shtick, you guys.
Oh, I'll back off. I'll back off.
But yeah. Anyway, this was a decent match. The finish was obviously it's going to continue the story, which I have to imagine at this point will end at Mania, because this whole storyline with the authority figures like Shane and Daniel and Kevin Owens has been going on since at least SummerSlam, so it has to end at Mania. The question is what will happen.
I'm fine. All's good here, buddy.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the Christian one more match thing. That's all it reminds me of.
Yeah. But Christian was entertaining. Not to say that Sammy, but that's not to say that Sammy and Kevin haven't been entertaining. But at the same time, I don't know. It just feels like Kevin Owens has been phoning it in lately. Maybe it's just me, but it does feel like we're not getting the best of Kevin Owens that we usually would. I don't know why that is.
He's got a bit of a back issue, and also he's been trying to shed weight. Doesn't have the same kind of padding that he used to have when he was on the indies. So basically, when he's taking bumps now, he's actually taking bumps on the bones now. Instead of on the padding.
Yeah, and this is...
Yeah, that would make sense.
There's so much, even like with the latest Rollins news. I mean, we all know that given the schedule, given what they go through, who's not injured? Who's not having shit? I can't get out of bed and my back not hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Seth today claimed that he was not injured, because there was a story going on that Seth had a bad back. I think it was Meltzer that said it.
I think it was Meltzer, and then some other folks chimed in, but then it just was a situation where Seth Rollins had to claim, no, my back's not injured.
Hashtag fake news.
Hashtag, that fake news nonsense. God.
Hashtag all the hashtags.
Oh God, Seth Rollins has become obsessed with hashtags again. So yeah, Mox, you asked me about the championship match. Thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Royal Rumble was a solid show. Overall, really solid show. From the parts that I've watched of it, I've watched the opener match, the match that came after it, and bits and pieces of the men's Royal Rumble and bits and pieces of the women's Royal Rumble, as well as the following contest is set for one fall and is for the WWE Beef Jerky Championship of Champions, sponsored by Jack Leeds Beef Jerky, Case Tool and Die, and Jimmy John Subs, as well as Jacobs for Mayor 2018 campaign.
God dang, I love that shit. Please don't ever change. I kept getting I couldn't tell you between what matches, but KFC ads. And then we got
the KFC Royal Rumble.
Ric Flair technically violated his retirement stipulation again. This time in a WWE ring.
Hey, it can't be any worse than his TNA stuff.
Oh, damn it, Matt, you got me. Because I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, we're not going to recognize TNA, but KFC for the win.
Well, technically, the retirement stipulation only applies to WWE rings. Doesn't apply to the Donner Party of professional wrestling.
Party five.
Did any of you see the Ric Flair KFC shirt they released?
Yes.
Oh man, I need that.
I have it.
I need that shirt.
What does it say?
It's Ric Flair's catchphrase on the back, but with KFC chicken-related puns.
Oh Lord.
And then the front, there's the Ric Flair
Yeah,
dressed
that's
as
a
the Colonel.
bad shirt. Wow. Hey, your thoughts on what's the men's Royal Rumble?
On the men's Royal
Or-
Rumble?
We can go before then with the Usos tag match. Your choice.
Usos and Gable and Benjamin, 2 out of 3 falls. I thought that match was a really good match. I thought the finish was not very good. For one, I disagree with the 2 straight falls. I don't know. That didn't really. It just felt anticlimactic, and not only that, but I felt like it was time for the Usos to lose the titles here. I feel like storyline wise, Gable and Benjamin could benefit more from them. I don't think the Usos really need the titles anymore at this point. And I think, and if you're serious about pushing, Benjamin and Gable as heels, why not have a finish where, they one of them pulls the Usos pants or pulls their tights to win the match and the titles, having them be hypocritical heels. I thought that finish would have been great. I mean, the Usos retain, it's not a bad decision at all, but I felt that this match could have been done a little bit better.
Where was the first Where was the first fall? That was my first thought when I saw this match. I was like, when is the first fall coming? Usually the first fall comes very quickly in the match, where in this case it was right in the middle. The match structure was really weirdly paced, which I thought was odd. And it was an uncharacteristically below average performance for Chad Gabe. Which I thought was very weird. Because he usually does really good performances, but here he just seemed kind of just there. And the Usos were having to drag him along in spots.
The backstage promo with Gable and Sheldon, seeing Seth and I don't want to say other words ever, and Jordan was better than the actual match, because that was so good. Of, hey, we're friends, we're gonna hug, and then Jordan is just, I dig this arrogant, better than you, I'm doing things and you're not stuff. But to me, that was better than the actual match that they had.
So we're switching over to the Raw tag team match.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Oh, that's because you were talking about a promo with Gabe and Jordan.
Yeah.
Before the match with Shelton. Okay. So basically, Gabe's stuck in a tag team with Benjamin, and Jason Jordan's acting arrogant to him.
Oh, well, I watched all that was during the pre-show.
Okay, because I missed the pre-show.
Yeah,
Okay.
same
Yeah,
here.
they had a moment where Seth is trying to, I guess, motivate Jason, and then all of a sudden here comes Sheldon and Gable, and they're gonna look like they're gonna fight, and then, hey brother, and they hug, and then Benjamin starts, I guess, taunting, for lack of a better word, and then Gable and Jordan get face to face. Nothing came of it, but except for some trash talking. But yeah, I think Gable just, well, look where I am. I'm tag champ. Where are you?
Stuck in a tag team with Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah. In fact, I want to say he called him. He called him and said the world's greatest tag team, which throwback to Sheldon and Angle.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of ironic given the fact that later in the night, the Raw Tag Team Champions would actually lose their titles to the Bar.
Can we please stop?
But that was kind of a 2-on-1 handicap match too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and can we just knock it off with the? I'm okay with Sheamus. I love Cesaro, but this repetitive. How long have they've been doing this?
Approximately 73 billion years, maybe. Because this was basically the same thing as the Sheamus Cesaro feud last year. They're basically just doing a tag team version of it. Only now dragging Seth Rollins and the best version of the Shield, Jason Jordan, into this match.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you just say best version of the Shield?
Yes, he did.
Jason Jordan is the ultimate parasite.
Oh.
He's the ultimate parasite. He's now claiming that he's in the Shield. So basically, he's claimed himself to be the best person in the Shield. Which Roman has taken offense to. And will promptly spear him into some kind of production vehicle at some point.
Or Dana's going to come and just destroy him.
Of course, Dean's going to destroy him. What is he going to destroy him with this week when he comes back? Ambulance, garbage truck, or is he going to grab that $12 million production truck, hijack the damn thing, and decide to have a little fun of trying to roadkill Jason?
Nah, he's going to use Barbie.
All of the above.
Yep, now and Dean Ambrose. All the above.
Hey, he comes back as face, right, guys?
Face temporarily, then he then they finally pull the trigger on the heel thing.
But at least for a month or two, he comes back as babyface Dean Ambrose and not crazy John Mox.
I don't know which one you're looking forward to.
Both, to be honest. When Seth
he does a better heel. He really does. Even in the Shield, when the Shield were heel, he did a better heel.
Turn on anybody except for Roman or Seth. Turn all you want, just not this breakup thing is how I feel about it. Like, go separate ways, faces, heels, whatever. But don't do this chair in the back stuff.
No, just go destroy Jason Jordan and we'll be happy.
I concur.
Because I want to see him get his comeuppance because he's got that much heel heat with me.
So do you think Jason's like the top heel on Raw to you?
Not the top heel, but the second.
We know who's first with AA. Miz.
Oh,
We
God.
do.
He said Miz, but is the Miz the top heel in your mind, AA?
Yeah, he is. Because I love him so much, but I still want to see him get his face punched in. And to me, that's a good heel. You love him so much, you want to see him get hurt.
That's a true heel. You want his eyeballs like flopping around. Like you just that's true heel stuff.
So speaking
I
of
just
the
changed the
Miz,
channel. I just changed the channel when he's on.
So speaking of the Miz, doing some fantasy booking here as far as the Mania 34 or 35 card. What number is WrestleMania this year?
34.
Okay,
Yeah, 34.
Oh, good. So, WrestleMania 34. Miz looks to be set on the card as the IC champion. Which door is WWE going to use for his opponent? Are they going to open door number A and have Finn Balor face against Miz? Or are they going to open door number B and Miz is going to end up in a body cast in the hospital right next to his wife who's giving birth and has to face Braun Strowman in a 5-minute long match?
Finn Balor.
And he'll still end up in the same room with his wife while she's giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
I do like your train of thought there, though.
Mm-hmm.
But surely it's that they're gonna have to do Balor some kind of favor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good Lord, he's too good, and I know there's the criticism of, well, he's so small, he's so tiny, but he's so great.
Yeah, like a stick of dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
He's the extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things.
Well, goddamn.
And Gravity did not forget him.
I did not realize we had Michael Hall on the podcast.
It's vintage.
And now suddenly in a house somewhere, someone's entire collection of bourbon has just exploded because he ushered in the word vintage.
But yeah, I do think that they'll do like Balor and Miz for the IC title, with Finn Balor hopefully winning. Hopefully they can just move that match up to like this Monday, have Balor win immediately. Because I don't want to see the Miz as IC champion. But yeah, I think they'll do. Go on.
Well, I think eventually they want to get Miz to surpass Jericho as IC champion number of times.
I mean, it would make sense. He's trying to be Jericho 2008, but failing miserably.
I think Miz is doing an okay job at this point. He's definitely having a much more down year than he had when he was at SmackDown, but that was because he was basically, I refer to Miz as a backup quarterback who is really good on the secondary shows, but once you give him the starting job gig, he really starts to struggle.
Yeah.
You know, put on spotlight on the Miz, and he starts to fail. You know, he starts to have misses in the feuds where he would normally be very successful. So, what were your thoughts on that train of thought there, Mox?
It's like having Tom Brady as your starting quarterback and Peyton Manning being your backup.
Yeah, that's a good analogy there. Are we talking like prime Peyton Manning or Denver Broncos Peyton Manning?
Super Bowl in each, but either or, it's like having, like, you can't go wrong. Like there's one A and one B. Are we going to actually talk about the Rumble match? And
sure, the right people in both matches won. Shockingly, for once.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm. We are no longer friends.
Wait, you don't like Nakamura?
Well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Nakamura is a fine choice for if we actually get Nakamura and AJ. I mean, they couldn't really go anywhere else with. Are we just going to stick to the men's Rumble?
Sure.
Who else was going to, besides Roman, there wasn't really any options.
Well, if we're being honest here, since Philadelphia is in the Super Bowl right now, the city of Philadelphia basically only has room in the budget for one riot this upcoming week. They don't have room in the budget for a riot if Roman Reigns wins the Rumble.
So I'm gonna bet all my money just based on him of all my money on Philly. Just because I like to be different. But yeah, Patriots are winning. Damn it.
So you like the men's Rumble, but you would have gone with somebody else.
But who? The
New Day, Finn. You know, there's a lot of choices.
I'm glad Nakamura took it.
Yeah, same here. I think he was like the best choice to win it, in my opinion.
I mean, you couldn't really go against anybody else.
And I thought that Rumble match was great. Like, it was the best Royal Rumble match in, God, I don't know how long. Like, it was like perfect booking, I would say.
2011, 12, something like that. And you couldn't. And they did it perfectly where Renee came and interviewed, like, who are you going for? AJ. I go, okay. Now it made it better. Like what we knew right away. If you haven't watched Wrestle Kingdom 10, my numbers might be off, but yeah, they probably still the show. And I don't know. I'm weird. I'm a wrestling fan. Of course, I'm weird.
You're not weird. You're normal. The rest of the world is weird.
AA always with the backup.
Besides, I think the weirdest person here is me, to be honest. I mean, look, I vouched for Ciampa over Gargano. The NXT faithful is going to be coming for my heart relatively soon.
They have to get through me first.
I agree. What about the triple threat for the Universal Championship?
Disappointing. I think that'd be the best word to describe it. It was disappointing.
You knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I think the bigger story is what happened during the match between Braun and Brock. Because apparently Braun accidentally hit Lesnar with a knee really hard. And like any normal person would in that situation, Brock decided to stiff Braun.
He stiffed Braun Strowman. Boy, that has a way of going south quickly. I mean, come on. This guy used a grappling hook to crush them with a stage last time. I mean, the only benefit of this... Continue.
No, you go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're both in agreement here. I mean, like, yes, we like the hardcore elements into this match, but at the same time, it's not really being used correctly in that hard, because this did turn out to be sort of a hardcore no DQ match between the three of them, Braun, Kane, and Strowman using objects around them to just try and destroy each other. But it just wasn't really paced very well. Strowman stiffed Lesnar, and Lesnar got mad, and it's a situation where it didn't really work all that well. It was the same problem that happened with Strowman Lesnar 1. Only this time with more Kane. Vote for Kane in 2018.
Yes, Kane was there.
I agree with this. Like, it just didn't. There was, like, I spent minutes on this, but for the knee to the face and then I'm sorry, and I don't do works to shoot kind of thing, but straight up, I feel Braun got him too hard with that knee, and Brock retaliated in a shoot manner with that punch. That was, you don't jar somebody's head like that in a work punch. He wasn't happy. And of course, I'm not happy that. Damn it, Braun needs to be Universal Champion.
Yeah, they really should put the title on him right here, because it was like the best time. He had a lot of momentum going into this match, and I know why they did it. I know why they didn't put the title on him, but still, it's disappointing. Like the whole match was really disappointing as a whole. I just found it really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, I agree with you there. It wasn't. But shouldn't we all have seen that it wasn't going to be like a big spectacular? I mean, we all watched SummerSlam. And
I did like the callback to SummerSlam with Brock pushing that table onto Braun. I thought that was a cool callback.
Wait, was that the German announce table that got destroyed in this match, in the Royal Rumble?
It might have been the English one, I think. Maybe.
There were two. There were go ahead.
Yeah, the one on the left is the English one. The one on the right is the German announce table.
I think it was the English.
Well, the first one got destroyed, and then it was our English, if you will, announce table that got flipped upon him. But he sent him through the German announce table first.
Oh wait, so the German announce table actually got destroyed?
Yes, German.
Lepsy
Spanish
was happy.
The one to the left, what Braun, power slammed him or whatever through the first table, and then Brock retaliated by putting him under the English table. Michael Cole and all that. So, Women's Royal Rumble. Unless you guys want to. Can't think of any other matches in between.
Let's go to the Women's Royal Rumble.
We'll let Matt start with this one.
This was a solid match. I think for the first Women's Royal Rumble, they did the best job they could here. I thought it was a pretty solid show. Like even Stephanie on commentary, she wasn't as bad as she could have been. I mean, she was just kind of useless for the most part, but she wasn't as annoying or as grating as she could have been. I love the fact.
So,
go on.
So says you.
Well, yeah.
Someone must not really like Stephanie.
I mean, I don't like Stephanie either, but I still think she did not as bad a job as she could have been. She was basically the Byron Saxton for the night. Kind of useless, more or less.
She didn't make it about her.
Yeah, that was a major positive right there.
Let's finish the name of Byron Saxton.
Studios, Corey.
Honestly, so what else did you think about the Rumble, Matt?
I love the fact that Sasha and Becky started it. I
Mhm.
thought that was an amazing idea because I love every time they wrestle. I just think they have such good chemistry in the ring. I wish they would wrestle more. I do kind of wish they were on the same brand so they could wrestle more. So it was a nice treat. I thought the surprise entrance for the most part were pretty good. It was nice to see Lita there.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, even though she wasn't on Raw 25, it was still nice to see her. I don't know if there was heat between Lita and WWE or if they were just saving her for the Royal Rumble. I don't know, but it was still nice to see her.
I think they were saving her for the Rumble. Wanted it to be a
Yeah.
legitimate surprise. I did love that little scene there where Sasha and Becky are just looking at her and they're just like, "Oh, you're my hero! You're so cool that you're in this Royal Rumble. Welcome to hell." Because
I hate to
Continue.
say this, but I liked it when Vicky showed up.
oh, Becky was awesome. And then Molly Holly showing up too.
Yeah, I thought that was
Hey,
a
Molly-
cool moment.
Mhm.
Trish Stratus being number 30.
Mhm.
Thank God she was number 30. Who else was in there? Who else was surprises?
Kelly.
Oh, because when I think of history making women's Royal Rumble, I think of Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Michelle McCool.
Yeah, she got so many. She got so many eliminations.
Mhm.
That's so weird.
Well, I mean, she's been spending her days wrestling alligators, getting dinner for the family because old man Taker stopped doing his old things. He's off down at the bar with the druids.
Yeah, digging holes and taking souls.
Mm-hmm.
There you go,
Hey,
TM.
now, my son did Undertaker. He's 8, but he knows that they're married, like outside of wrestling. My callbacks, obviously Lita, and then I'm sorry, but Kelly. I know she is despised in the wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm.
Trish, of course.
Let's see. Tori Wilson was in at number 9.
I thought she was a good personality, but I wouldn't go so far as to say she was a good wrestler.
And then we had Beth Phoenix and Brie Bella, who's technically considered a free agent.
Oh yeah, the Bella twins. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there because guys, I was going to leave them out.
Mhm.
So I had. If you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all.
Well, I was happy to see Beth Phoenix show up.
Yeah, that was a cool moment, especially the one with her and Natalia.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that strong style finish at the end with Nikki versus Asuka was awesome. Nikki, Asuka, and Sasha.
My God, how were the Bella twins part of the Final Four? Like, what was up with that?
Doing an angle for Total Divas. Or Total
Yeah.
Bellas, or whatever it's being called this week on the E! Network.
Both of them. It's both shows.
Figured.
Oh,
The final
Jacqueline
two
was
should have been-
also... Yeah, Jacqueline
Oh, yeah,
was also
yeah.
in there. Number 21.
It was nice to see her.
Yeah, that was cool. And then she showed up, which I never got even in the early '90s. Yeah, I'm old. Screw you. But the side head shape thing, it was nice to see her, but what's going on with your hair?
Who's there?
Jacqueline's.
Oh,
He's like, I don't know how to. Again, I'm old. I don't get the whole shaving one side, and hell, my 8-year-old has without the same haircut, and I don't get where that 20 years ago we called it a skater cut. All this side shaved and then a comb over. Anyway, we're not talking about Jacqueline's haircut.
Yeah,
What
the final two.
Go ahead.
The final two really should have been Asuka and Sasha, especially since it does feel like that might be the Raw Women's Championship for match for WrestleMania. It could end up being Asuka and Alexa, but I don't know. I feel like Sasha might win the Raw title at Elimination Chamber, then she loses the Asuka at WrestleMania. I don't know. That's what I think might happen.
You're guaranteeing that Sasha win at WrestleMania to break the streak. That's what I heard. Right?
Ow. I actually heard more or less that it should have been Asuka and Sasha at the end as the final two.
Yeah, that's what I think it should have been.
I personally enjoyed the end, but that was because of the fact that I really enjoyed the strong style war between Asuka and Nikki Bella. Asuka surviving a Bella hammer. That was so cool.
Yeah, Asuka winning the Royal Rumble was a good choice. Personally, it wasn't the choice that I would have made. I think everybody here knows which choice I would have gone with.
Let me guess, Peyton Royce.
No, actually, no. Though I was disappointed that they weren't in this.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that's who I would have gone with. Either Becky or Sasha, because even though Asuka is great, I don't think she needed this victory. I don't think she needed to win the Royal Rumble. She could have easily just kind of got this winning streak, and they realized that and put her in a title match. They could have done that. I think Sasha or Becky could have benefited a bit more from it because their stock has pretty much fallen the past year or so. So I feel like this could have really reignited them.
I think at this point Sasha's fine. I think that having a middle road year is not necessarily a bad thing. Consistency has been Sasha Banks' biggest issue thus far on the WWE roster, and for her to have a year where she was consistent and steady was a good thing for her. With Becky, it was a situation where she was having difficulty staying healthy. That she had to drop the title because of injury. I think that this next year is really going to be an interesting year to see what happens with Becky Lynch, because I think she's starting to do some really serious retooling of her gimmick, and what we might be seeing eventually here in this situation is heel Becky Lynch. And that's an exciting possibility.
I'm going to be so angry if that happens.
Now, why would you be angry? Come on, Matt.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just like when you have something like this, like Becky as a heel, Becky as a face. Becky as a face is just so great. She's one of the few baby faces who's actually over. She's not as over as she used to be, thanks to really crappy booking. But I think she is a great babyface. She's still over, which is pretty rare. And I don't know. For me, it's just
don't get it confused. Becky is still over. Bayley, they're still over.
Yeah, like for me, it's like if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like Becky's so good as a face, and even then, the way the SmackDown is handled right now, there's just no room for Becky as a heel. because there's not really that many faces. Like there's Naomi and there's Charlotte, but that's about it. And you know, let's say that we have heel Becky versus face Charlotte. Nobody is going to cheer Charlotte in that scenario. Nobody.
Unless they do it in the South.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Just Charlotte, her character has just been so weird as a face.
I honestly have think that her babyface character is one of my favorite variations of Charlotte Flair because she's not really a heel. She's not really a heel personality. She's a nice face character. And I think at this point, with Ric Flair's health situation being very questionable at this point, they can't really risk a heel turn right now with Charlotte. So they're going to go with the Charlotte-Becky route of Becky turning heel and then maybe one of the Riot Squad breaking away and turning face to equal out the equation, and also possibly calling up a couple of people from the NXT roster to fill the spots of face and heel as needed.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like Charlotte's face character is so bland. And I mean, I think a Charlotte face run, it absolutely could have worked. It really could have worked. But the way they executed it was so off. Because like Charlotte, she was like the top heel on Raw, like the top female heel. You could argue maybe one of the top heels in the company altogether. And when you are that kind of a heel, you know, you can't just turn face like, okay, I'm a face this week. Like you cannot do that. Like you have to have like this big redemption moment, and it never happened for Charlotte. It just happened to be, you know, well, we have to fight the welcoming committee. Guess I'll turn face. I thought it was pretty much what it is.
You turn face when you're in a situation where you're dealing with a welcoming committee who wants to completely destroy you. And then, of course, the fact that she's matched up against somebody who's even more unlikable than she is, in the form of the crazy cat lady, Natalya.
Yeah.
The one that makes other crazy cat ladies flee in terror.
Yeah, like for the longest time, I always considered Charlotte to be like a heel that just happened to fight other heels. Then she just turned face.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah, Charlotte, there's only one. They rushed everything, but Charlotte can only play heel. And no offense to any Charlotte fans, she sucks at both, just to be honest. But it's worse as a face. Like at least or maybe she's worse at heel. But good lord.
I thought she was good as a heel. But then again, everybody in WWE is, because they're booked that way.
Well, yeah, I get, and I've given Charlotte a lot of leeway. Like, okay, that's just, you know, the booking, the writing. But
I think that's my biggest problem with Becky turning heel, is like, you know, they have no clue how to book baby faces. Like the past year, even though Becky has had some nagging health issues, other than that, they just don't know how to book her. You know, I will say this, it's at least better than 2016, where she was constantly getting attacked or constantly getting one up by Alexa Bliss. But even so, they just don't know how to book faces. And it just seems like whenever they just run out of ideas, like, well, we don't have any ideas. Screw it. Turn her heel. Hope for the best. I don't know. Like maybe it could work, but I don't know.
Hey, we're all looking forward to the day that Bayley turns heel, because the inflatable tube man requires sacrifices.
I mean, at this point, why not? You know, why not? Could it really be any worse than what they've done with her as a face?
Yes, it could be.
I mean, I understand your pessimism there, Mox, but I think that I'm open to the idea of Becky turning heel and Bailey turning heel at this point because, Bailey, in her case, she has the physical presence to be just this destructive heel monster.
Oh yeah, Becky can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey, that's going to be a tough road to sled.
Because she originally started out as a heel when she was on the Indies.
I know.
And have you seen her angry faces? Oh my God! Like this is just total monster heel for the women's division, right there. And in Becky's case, she has the whole thing where she disarms people by literally removing their arms.
Yeah, that could work, but I don't know. I just think Becky's just so good as a babyface. And like I said earlier, if it's not broken, don't fix it. She's still over. But I don't know. Like Becky's my favorite, so I'm going to be biased, But yeah,
they've kind of set themselves up for, I don't want to say, but just a lot of with Becky, Charlotte, Tasha, Bailey, all four of them. Their trajectory, it's what do you? It will work for us, their audience. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it depends. You never know what exactly is going to work for the women's division at this point.
And we don't know what works for the men's division.
Same deal, but you gotta, see what happens. And, with me, it's always a case of I want to see what happens in these situations. And then if it works, okay. If it doesn't work, okay, we'll go over to the next idea and see if that one works.
And if all else fails, 6-woman tag matches every week.
So apparently it already failed since that's what we're getting. I agree with this. Like, I've tried and see, but I just don't know how it's going to be, accepted or appreciated on the other end. It's not just a one-person thing. It takes the crowd to be initiated with their reactions and that kind of stuff out. Turning heel is not always the answer. I know that's what everyone wants to say. Turn them heel, turn them heel, turn them heel. Well, that's not always the answer to.
Sure. Sometimes you have. Yeah, sir. Sometimes you have to turn them face. I mean, like, right now, best babyface right now in NXT is Almas, of all people. Besides Aleister Black.
Johnny Gargano would like a word with you.
Yep. I've seen that word, and well, honestly, I really don't consider Johnny Gargano a face.
Oh, okay.
I consider Ciampa the face here in this feud.
I see the bracer laying down. Men's. Go ahead.
But yeah, I agree with Mox is that a heel turn isn't always necessary. Like, it's not always the answer. And when you do that, that's how we get stuff like Dolph Ziggler.
Well, Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, God, we're mentioning him.
Oh, yeah. Number 30 in the men's Royal Rumble. I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come
And he-
on.
And he lasted 2 minutes and 1 second and got eliminated by Finn Balor and had one elimination.
Yeah, it was totally worth it.
Mhm.
Hey, let's go to the men's rumble. Since we're
I marked out for the Hurricane returning. I'm not gonna lie.
hurting hymns of this shit.
And Rey Mysterio.
Apparently,
I did not see
Ray.
that coming.
Apparently, Ray may have made an Aztec sacrifice to the Aztec temple and got himself a new pair of knees.
Yeah, he was in great shape here.
That's cold-blooded.
Well, he needed a replacement set of knees. Lucha Underground has constantly characters getting themselves killed off every season, so quite literally and figuratively. So obviously, there's going to be a few pairs of knees laying around.
There's no holds, no punches.
Hey, they're being honest. They're being honest. The Aztec temple is the temple of death. So, like the ancient Aztecs. So, okay.
Hey, where are you?
I think she went off on break. She said in messages.
I hear her.
Hey, where are you?
I'm back.
Yes.
Yes. Men's Royal Rumble. Thoughts?
About the Royal Rumble thoughts. I enjoyed it all except for when Ronda Rousey showed up.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So Asuka just won the Royal Rumble. She's in the ring. Charlotte and Alexa are in the ring as well. Asuka's about to make her decision when all of a sudden Bad Reputation plays. And at first I was enjoying the music because I love Joan Jett. Then
Ditto.
I realized, oh, she's here. Ronda Rousey is here.
She could have waited till Monday night.
Yeah. Like she really could have. And I think that's why so many of the women are just like, I don't think it's anything personal against Ronda. It's just that the way she debuted was just the wrong way to do it because it just overshadowed not only Asuka's win, but the entire women's Royal Rumble as a whole.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. She should have debuted on Monday night, the Monday after the Royal Rumble, and let Asuka have her moment as being the first ever winner of the Women's Royal Rumble.
Well, I was trying to get to the Men's Royal Rumble, but we'll stick with this.
She thought that you meant that you were talking about the Royal Rumble overall.
Oh. Well,
The,
shit happens.
yeah, the Royal Rumble overall I enjoyed.
Yeah. Same here. I thought it was a really good show.
I didn't fall asleep during it like I've done with some of the past of the Big Four.
Well, that's obviously a win.
And you
Go
Go on.
ahead. I was just gonna say I didn't fall asleep. Internet worked where I could actually watch it. Not sure, match by match. I have grades, but not like grades. My grade versus anybody else's grade are not going to be the same. The overall Royal Rumble, it was fun, and we watched all 6 hours with the pre-show and all that. Yeah, it was a good Sunday.
At least it didn't happen on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, Philly doesn't have a room in the budget for 2 riots.
This dude and his Philly stuff.
I mean, that's probably the reason why Ronda wasn't in the Rumble itself, was because the Philadelphia City Council walked up to Vince and said, Hey, buddy, we're going to be having a Super Bowl here in a week. We don't need the city being completely destroyed because you decided to debut Ronda Rousey in the Royal Rumble match. See, that's
I'm
the
on
thing.
record saying that he has the best promos ever.
Mhm.
I mean, he goes from accent to accent like flawlessly.
Yeah. So, yeah, thankfully, I mean, that's the thing. I mentioned this way back when we were covering the Mae Young Classic. Faustian bargains. They got their winner. They got the Mae Young Classic winner in Kairi Sane, but there was going to be a Faustian bargain. There was going to be some little detail in the fine print, and that little detail was the MMA fighters coming into WWE. I mean, at first we thought it would just be Shayna Baszler and hope that, Ronda stiffed them on too much money coming into WWE. But, well, the Colombian government failed us. Because apparently Ronda Rousey was able to get to Philadelphia and interrupt the end segment with Asuka and Alexa, Charlotte, and Stephanie. And Asuka didn't rip her arm off. So there's that.
Asuka should have.
Yeah, like I'm not looking forward to Ronda Rousey in WWE. I don't know. Like, I know that she's like a fan, like a genuine fan, and I think if she puts the time and the effort into it, she could be good. But at the same time, I'm not looking forward to her booking because I'm worried that they're just going to make her Brock Lesnar of the women's division, and that really should not happen. Like, it's bad enough that we already have Brock Lesnar. We don't need it for the women's division.
I think this is basically just a 2-year experiment that WWE is conducting to see if they can get some more MMA people to sign up to NXT. I'm not sure if the Rousey experiment is going to work. If it does, okay, it makes them a lot of money. If it doesn't, then they just burnt a lot of money. But hey, at least it isn't Vincent McMahon's fantasy football project that's debuting 2020, right? Because the hindsight is there, after all.
Where's my football? Quite frankly, figure skating sucks.
Oh, come on. I enjoy figure skating.
I used to watch
Okay. What do you have against figure skating?
I was quoting Vince.
Figure skating had one of the best, heel moments of a heel moment ever in the mid-90s.
Tanya Harding says hello.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm referring to.
You don't
Why?
get more than a crowbar against the knee.
Heck, they're even actually doing a special on, I think, ID or Oxygen or something about Tanya Harding. Brilliant that it's coinciding with the Winter Olympics, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Winter Olympics start the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Tanya Harding special is next week.
Day of or day before.
And there was also that movie about her recently. I, Tanya.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie, but right after that, they, I think NBC did a Dateline thing where they delved into it too. Yeah, Tanya Harding's like hill of all hills, and I like her. Like, she was never convicted of actually climbing a knee.
I like her on World's Dumbest.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that show in so long.
And what ended up happening is that didn't a third person end up benefiting and ending up winning the whole thing?
Shit, I can't. During that second, shit, I can't remember her name. Damn it, hell.
I think it was like Oksana Bayou or somebody like that.
Yeah, ended up winning the gold medal. Karen got silver, and then somebody got bronze, and Kerrigan had a shoelace she had to fix and quit the match. Or did I say Kerrigan? I meant.
And I only know that because I watch I Love the 90s on VH1.
Of course. We wouldn't. That happened.
But yeah, Ronda and WWE, who knows how it's going to work? Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Bottom line, WWE got a ton of mainstream press.
During a year where they're renegotiating their TV rights deals.
Yeah, that is important.
Are they going to Fox?
I think that they're basically at this point that they're just baiting Fox because Fox is desperate at this point because they're also going through contract negotiations with UFC right now. So if Fox loses,
Go ahead.
So basically at this point what they're doing is Fox is trying to use WWE as sort of a bait to say, we already have somebody lined up to take your time slot. Now, could you accept this deal? And UFC is hardballing them on this one, and they're saying, "Well, we want higher pay on this one, on this rights deal."
I know that.
And so basically, at this point, it's at a stalemate right now, and the deal will probably come to fruition sometime in 2019.
I know they signed a deal for $5+ billion for them to air Thursday Night Football for the NFL. That might not, if you read between the lines, that's a big deal because Fox does, my time zone, 7 to 9, 2 hours of primetime television. But with them signing Thursday night for football, that's going to be 10, 11-ish. I'm in Central Time. But it's out of their box for that to be prime time.
So, for me, I think that they might end up remaining on USA Network, or they will move somewhere else to Fox, possibly. But who knows at this point with Vince? I mean, because right now, the funny thing I noticed about the McMahons at this point, Linda's often in politics right now, dealing with the clown show that is down there, and people being on fire. Isn't really all that different from her old job, except probably less people being on fire. Vince is now doing his whole fantasy football gig and XFL project for his retirement fund in 2020, which just leaves the wrestling portion of things to Hunter and Stephanie. So we'll see how this works out. They're all doing their own independent projects, so it's really going to be really interesting.
So, we have anything else to cover tonight?
I can't really think of anything else. I'm actually saving everything for tomorrow.
Me neither. I can't really think of anything that happened between the last podcast and now. Oh, Raw got new graphics. Oh, SmackDown. Let's talk about SmackDown's graphics. What was that?
It's called Scraping the Bottom of the Barrel.
So basically, they found the stock asset graphics for a Prodigy Internet-era service, and they decided to put them onto SmackDown. Prodigy, by the way, debuted in the early 90s. Oh, good lord, Steve from accounting has found the MS Paint tool.
So I guess that's a wrap for tonight then, folks. We appreciate you for listening. And once again, our wonderful guests, Metal Matt, and of course, William Fitzpatrick.
Thank you so much for having us on, guys.
Busy.
Yep.
We loved having you guys. And as always, how can people get a hold of you in case you want to see ya? Matt?
Well, thanks for having me. I absolutely love being here. But as far as how you can reach me, I'm on Twitter at MeadowMatt15, and you can catch me on Cage Side. I hang out in the daily and the nightly and all that stuff. And I'm also working on my own podcast of my own. The Iconic Fizz has, trying to think of the word here. Advised me to do a few more guest appearances on podcasts like this before I branch out on my own, which is a smart decision. So thank you, Fizz.
No problem, man.
And the idea is I want to do like a Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, sort of in a similar vein of the Attitude Era podcast, which if you haven't heard that, it's a great listen, highly recommend it. But that's something I would want to do in the future. I just want to get a few more guest appearances on podcasts just to kind of get used to the idea before I go and do that. So I'm currently planning that. But other than that, that's how you can reach me. You can reach me on Twitter and Cage Side.
And what about you, Fizzy?
Okay, folks, you can reach me on Twitter at Fitzpatrick14, William Fitzpatrick. Currently, at this point right now, I have just gotten myself back from sabbatical. I had taken a vacation for about a month and a half from podcasting, but I'm now starting to get back into the wonderment that is the world of professional wrestling podcasting. There's been some massive changes that have happened, and overall, over the next couple of months here, I will be debuting those changes and things that are happening. But at this point right now, well, tomorrow, you're going to have something really fun to see. Because, well, I got a Cage Side Speaks plan for the Royal Rumble. So tune in whenever that debuts on the Cage Side Seats YouTube channel. And as for Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling at this point, I am currently still have the podcast on sabbatical. I am making some changes as necessary. And, well, of course, we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Because at this point, it's 2018, kids. It's a fresh year, a fresh start. Let's see what happens in the world of professional wrestling, because good Lord, January has showcased to us that some of the fallout from 2017 is still happening. Infighting by wrestling media journalists, wrestlers getting injured, and horrifically bad scandals. May the Cruiserweight division feast upon the bones of Enzo Amore. You can also catch me on Cage Side Seats as well. I am Fitzpatrick14, and I'm starting to show up a bit more now that my sabbatical and vacation is now over. And we'll see where things go, because you might be actually seeing some articles that I may be doing over the next couple of months here in the fan post sections, because I want to get back into creative writing this year. But until then, folks, AA, sign us off.
Okay, and how about you, Mox? How can we get a hold of you?
How am I supposed to follow that? Yeah, I'm at Fireman 6809, and we were at Violent Wrestling with no G. Damn, Twitter won't let us. It's not long enough. Violent Wrestling Pod. Yeah, how do I follow that? I don't want to. Mom, make it stop. We're out. Thanks for listening.
And you can get a hold of me at the infamous Ambrose Alley, at Lady Rashana on Twitter, or you can find me on Cage Side Seats at Ambrose Alley. And we'd like to send a shout out to Shooting the Breeze, which shows up on Saturdays at 9 a.m. And then again, of Two Guys and One Sport on Thursdays at 9 p.m. And once again, we thank you for listening to Violent Wrestling Podcast, and we wish you all adieu.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Peace.